To be honest, it's my absolute favorite collection of watches in this video. I am dying to pick one up. These things are absolutely stunning. What's up guys, hope you guys have all been well and staying safe. Welcome back to another edition to the series of best watches for the budget. If you haven't checked out the previous edition or your budget is $500 and below, you can check out my last video. The link is in the description. Otherwise, let's get started. So right now we're hitting the 4-digit price mark. You'll notice selections start to diverge away from the Citizens, the Orients, and away from sort of the more budget-friendly options. And we're gonna just about start to dip our toes into the Swiss market. Now, a watch at this price is likely gonna be your first significant watch. After all, $1,000 is a lot to spend on a watch in the eyes of the general public. But of course, we are not the general public. We are maniacs who spend thousands and thousands of dollars on things that just tell the time, which we can get from our phones, except less reliably, more expensively, takes more maintenance, but also much more fulfilling. By the way, links for some of these watches are in the description if you are interested in getting one. So on that note, we're going to start from cheapest to most expensive. So number one is going to be the Omega Seamaster Deville / 1950s to 60s era Seamaster. So this is an unusual choice because this is not a watch you can buy brand new, but I had to include it because I think it represents a very, very, very sweet spot in the used Omega market. Now, Omega have reissued older generations of Seamasters like their 1948 limited edition, but of course those are nowhere near this price range. They're very expensive, but I think they are fantastic choices if you had the money. Now, going back to the actual watches in question. So the Omega Seamaster line of dress watches is very extensive. You have the Seamaster Deville, the Seamaster Cosmics, the Seamaster Bumpers, as it's unofficially named. There's a ridiculous amount of variation in this lineup, all the way from dial textures to sub-seconds hands to crosshairs on the dial. They look fantastic, and almost all of them have in-house calibers. They're instantly recognizable. You're going to be able to find them for about $500 to all the way up to $1,000 and beyond, but it's a good option to have in the back of your mind just in case you manage to pounce on a really good deal, and they do come around. Number two is going to be the Tshow Men's Le Locle 1853 Powermatic 80. So I love this watch because it's not too flashy. It has a lovely amount of subtle detail about it. And on the inside of the dial, you get this very nice sort of wafer pattern, as well as on the very outside beneath the Roman numerals. I think it adds a very nice touch, as well as a gorgeous display case back with 1853 listed on it being the birth year of Tshow. Now, Powermatic 80 basically means 80 hours of power reserve. You're going to get a sapphire crystal. You're going to get a date function at the 3 o'clock. It's in a stainless steel case with a leather band. The case size is 39 millimeters and an impressive only 9 millimeters thick. So great choice. Now, coming in at number three, this is going to be the Seiko SPB049. This is a real home run in my opinion. The showpiece of this watch is this gorgeous enamel dial. If you haven't seen enamel in real life, I highly suggest you check one out. Now, enamel plays with light very differently. It's very hard to explain. You're going to have to see one up close. It sort of bounces light off in a very distinct fashion. Supposedly also the process of making enamel is very long and much more difficult to do properly, so I think that adds all the more value into this watch. Now, the thickness is 12.4 millimeters. It's 40 millimeters in diameter. You got 100 meters of water resistance thanks to a screw down crown, and you've got the famous Seiko 6R15 movement with 50 hours of power reserve, a display case back, and a push button release clasp. Great value. Now, number four is going to be the Seiko Sharp Edge series. Now, this is a lineup of watches that was released in late 2020, and this is probably one of the best things Seiko has come out with in a very long time. And to be honest, it's my absolute favorite collection of watches in this video. I am dying to pick one up. These things are absolutely stunning. So the watch is made up of 4 main models and colors. And by the way, I'm paraphrasing Seiko here. Number one, you've got the Eitetsu, I think is pronounced, which is an indigo iron, also known as the SPB167. The Shiraneri, an unbleached silky white called the SPB165. Tokiwa, which is the color of the evergreen trees, SPB169. And Susutaki, I think, a brown tone smoked bamboo, the SPB170. I know I butchered those names, but I did try my best. Now, All these watches have the same sort of dial pattern called the asanoha, or the hemp leaf pattern. Now, Japanese culture is well known for integrating captivating geometric shapes into their architecture and their culture in general. And I think Seiko has done a fantastic job integrating that into their timepieces, specifically in this lineup. Now, this specific asanoha pattern was used over 1,000 years ago and represents good health, rapid growth, and prosperity. And there's a very, very strong Grand Seiko vibe going on here. That's probably what I like the most about this lineup. You have that very sharp, reflective finishing with a high polish, very sort of akin to the Zaratsu polishing technique of the Grand Seikos. So I absolutely love the way it looks. I think they've done a fantastic job taking that Grand Seiko aesthetic, bringing it down into a more affordable package. Honestly, I can't say enough good things about this watch. I'm just dying to have one. Now, as far as specs go, the lineup comes with the 6R35 movement, giving you a 70 hours of power reserve. They're only 11 millimeters thick, 39 millimeters in diameter, so it's absolutely perfect for any wrist size whatsoever. And it's made of a stainless steel that Seiko calls the super hard coating steel, and 100 meters of water resistance and Lumi Bright Lume on the indexes for low light visibility. I think you should absolutely pick one up if you have about $1,000 to spend. Fantastic choice. I get a 10 out of 10 for this one. Number 5 and final is the Frederick Constant Classic Heartbeat Automatic. Now, people have mixed reviews and opinions about Frederick Constant, so much that, to be honest, I think it warrants its own video on my opinions of the brand. However, that's going to be at a later date. For me, I don't find all their watches that well worth it, but they have pulled through and made a name for themselves lately. And so I've decided to actually put them on this list. Now, this watch is powered by the FC310 caliber automatic, giving you 38 hours of power reserve. It's in a 40 millimeter case, sapphire crystal, and of course, a very gorgeous beating heart at the 12 o'clock position. In my opinion, a great entry-level automatic to the brand. And I think it's worthy of being your first expensive luxury dress watch purchase. So that was the video, guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Please leave me a like and subscribe down below. Let me know if there's other watches that you think should have been listed in this video, or maybe another watch that you would have bought with a $1,500 budget. And until next time, as always, take care.